There's a lot of properties that we have under contract here in Alpharetta, Georgia. We're also part of a new development project of 19 homes and another 32 unit we're building from the ground up in Albany, Georgia, right? That's actually through the government program. Is the government that is funding 80% of the project, and we're bringing 20% to the table. Guys, but you have to learn how to find land. Welcome to this video, guys. How can you get started in real estate new development in the US as a newbie, guys? Today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. If you don't know me, my name is Mamadou Diallo, a real estate developer here in the Georgia market. Let's get to it, guys. Let's not even waste time. Listen, why even do real estate new development? I'm sure a lot of you have heard the strategy where you do what is called fix and flips. This is when you find beat up homes that already exist and you renovate them and you sell them back on the market. I'll do a whole different video to show you exactly how you can do that also from A to Z as a newbie. But here, the difference between doing a fix and flip, which takes on average 6 months to go ahead and renovate, list it on the market and sell it, takes about 6 months. To build a new home, real estate new development, guys, is when you find the land and you actually build the property. So you build a home, either you're building it to sell or you're building it to rent, right? Now, in the beginning, most newbies, like me when I started, we're trying to build and build cash. So we're trying to build to sell to make profits right now before we start keeping properties, okay? So why do new development instead of fix and flips? What is the pros and the cons? Well, the pros is you're making way more profits for the same amount of time. So it takes about 6 months to fix and flip a property that already exists. Same headaches, you're managing construction crews, you're going through all the headaches, you're going through 6 months. If you find the land to build the property, and let's say you're building a single family, well, guess what? It's gonna take you the same amount of time, 6 months to build and sell on average, right? Difference is you're making a way bigger profit margin contrary to fix and flips. On average, most fix and flippers make between $30,000 to $50,000 per flip. Oftentimes, actually, they make less, and this takes them the same amount of time and the same amount of energy. So first pro for new builds instead of fix and flips is you're making a bigger profits. On average, is a minimum of $100,000 non-negotiable net profits we're looking when we get into these deals. So here is now the cons of doing new development than doing fix and flips. This right here, as a newbie, there is few things that you need that you don't need necessarily if you're looking to fix and flip. The first thing is you need a good credit, right? You need a good credit. This right here, you can see it as a con. For me, I see it as something positive actually, because on fix and flips, like you can have people that started with real estate wholesaling, and I already made a video explaining exactly what that is a strategy for newbies that start with no credit, no license. So it's a low entry type of thing. But the problem also with that is everybody and their mom is doing it. And then through that, if you learn creative finance on this channel, also I explain exactly what that is. If you learn creative finance, well, you can find homeowners that you negotiate with. So you don't need to go through the bank to get these fix and flips. You can find homeowners with a beat up home, negotiate them, turn them into the bank. And all you have to do is to bring the renovation money and then renovate the property and then sell it back on the market. Then you make your profit, right? So you have way more competition when it comes to fix and flips in that sense. Here in new development, you need good credit, at least 650 and up. So this already eliminates the majority of people that don't have the finances together. You're gonna have to try to find a way to get your finances together. Now, there is another way that you can do this, the way we started, the smart way. The way we started is to go and do what we call a joint venture by bringing something to the table, and I'll explain that in a different video. But here already, you guys can see it as a con. For me, I see it as, okay, great. I have low competition because in order to get in, you have to have good credit. That's number one. Number two, you have to know how to secure the land. There's multiple different ways to find land. The same way we buy properties. The only difference here, if you call in homeowners that own land, typically is people that bought this land on LLCs or people that already developed properties. So they used to develop properties and they're looking to retire right now. There's a lot of properties that we have under contract here in Alpharetta, Georgia. We're also part of a new development project of 19 homes and another 32 unit we're building from the ground up in Albany, Georgia, right? That's actually through the government program. Is the government that is funding 80% of the project, and we're bringing 20% to the table, guys. But you have to learn how to find land. So one way is you reach out to the owners directly. You can find that online. Here's the deal though. When you reach out to them, contrary to when you're talking to fix and flips type of homeowners, which is maybe the elderly that only live in the house, they're looking to vacate, the house is beat up, they're just looking to downsize, they've never sold another property in their life, they've never invested. Landowners typically you're going to land on developers, people that have already developed properties for years. And so guess what? You're dealing with high level people. Again, here, because you're dealing with high level people, which is great, depending what your mentality is, you have low competition. Because most people that call, they don't have all of this, they don't have their finances together, they don't have their credit together, they don't have a lot of experience. Well, guess what? This owner right here, they spot that bullshit from afar. Right? So this eliminates a lot of competition as well. So you're having high level conversations, not like the average, homeowner who's in pre-foreclosure, they're about to lose their home, blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of easy, like, on the wholesale side. This is why a lot of your competition when it comes to real estate wholesaling or fix and flips is like a lot of people that don't know nothing of what they're doing. It's a bunch of that, right? I call most of those people like low vibrating type of individuals. That's just real, guys. Anybody who has experience with real estate wholesaling would tell you the same thing. So with that, that's number one. Number two, obviously, now you have to know how to underwrite land, right? Like, how do you value land? Just a quick metric is typically, guys, if you can build a home that you can sell $750,000, you don't want to buy the land for more than 10 to 15% of the sales price. So you don't want to buy the land for more than 10 to 15% of what you can sell your new build property for. That's the first thing. So you have to learn how to underwrite land, guys. If you join my private community, we teach that exactly. How do you underwrite land? How do you find it? How do you negotiate it, right? Then you'll have to get into financing. This is where it gets interesting. This is where you're gonna need this credit. Because number one, if you don't have good credit, well, there's no way you walk into Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, or whatever kind of lender, a construction loan type of lender, they're not going to lend you if you don't have great credit. Another thing is, in new development, they want you to have some kind of experience. So you're gonna have to be able to get good financing. When I say good financing, decent interest rate, right? So it doesn't eat you up when you're doing your new construction. If you cannot produce at least 4 properties that you've already built from the ground up before and then sold it and you went on title, guess what? They're going to give you bad loans. It's actually going to be super challenging for them to even give you the loan. So that already eliminates also a lot of people. So that's what I'm saying. One of the ways to actually do this the smart way is to start by finding a joint venture partner, somebody who's already building like we're doing right now. So what I do is, my team and I, is we give our students, we give them the credibility by helping them go secure the financing. We help them underwrite the land. Once they find the land, if they don't have the ability yet to go get their financing, guess what? We help them come on title with us on at least 4 projects, so they get the credibility, and by extension, they can go ahead and do their own projects later on. So that's the value that we bring to the table. But if you don't have it, you're gonna have to find a way to build it, or you're gonna have to find great deals at great discount, great land, pieces of land at great discount, to where if you go to the bank and they give you bad loans, when I say bad loans, like high interest rates, high points, high down payments, whatever, you can still make a profit regardless. Otherwise, is you do it the smart way. When we started, we did what is called the joint venture route. The joint venture route is what? Finding a small builder in your local market, guys, not a big builder, not a big company that is building like 50 homes, building all communities. They don't have time for you unless you're bringing something heavy to the table. I am talking about that local, pop and mom shop type of builder. He's built maybe 1 home at a time, or 2 homes at a time, or maybe 6 in a year. Small business owner, you can find them in networking events. You can find them online, social media, the same way you found me here. And then you bring something to the table. There's multiple different things you can bring to the table. One, you can bring land. So if you learn the art of just going and calling landowners and putting them under contract, you can bring the land and say, hey, Mamadou, I have a piece of land in Georgia. It's in a great area. We can sell it for $750,000 or up. I would love to do a joint venture. I don't want to get paid up front. I want to learn through the process and get the experience. But guess what? You have value because you already have a piece of land under contract. This is how we started, guys. This is what got us in the door. Literally, because we had the skill to call these homeowners and put them under contract. Something else we had the skill of is what we call PML. So we knew how to go to individuals because, we've been marketing for a while. We've been building our own community. We've been networking with people. We've been teaching people. So we know how to go to everyday people, doctors, lawyers, attorneys, nurses, whatever, and raise money. Private money is when you use somebody else's money, but somebody that you have a personal relationship with. It could be your aunt, your cousin, whatever. They have money in the bank doing nothing, or they have a 401k that they can turn into a self-directed IRA, and they can take that money and start investing it in real real estate? Well, guess what? Most builders, especially the small builders, right? People that are not like hedge funds, big builders, right? Guess what they need? Cash. The thing with new construction, guys, the thing with new development is that the carrying costs, right? You need a lot of capital. There's a lot of fees upfront. You're gonna have to pay like the land surveyors. You're gonna have to pay architects. You're gonna have to do what is called the soft costs. So there's a lot of fees. On average, you can spend between $5,000 to $15,000 upfront before you even start doing anything. So that means, guess what they need? They need cash for what we call their soft costs. So if you come in as a private lender, if you come in and you can go raise the money or bring your own money, and you can fund basically the upfront cost, which is the land. You can fund the land purchase, and then you can fund maybe some of the soft costs. Well, guess what? You're valuable to them because you can bring cash to the table, and then they can just focus on going and securing the money, the financing from the bank for the construction. And then they'll guide you through it. So make sure they're credible, and they'll guide you through it while you guys are basically building the property. They'll show you exactly how do they underwrite the land, the surveys, the architects, how do they do that? How do they talk to the bank to get the financing? What does that look like? And then the crew. What kind of crews do you need? How do they manage the project? How did they even find their subs? How did they find their subcontractors? All of those things. There's not a better way to learn than using the strategies that we call what? Monkey see, monkey do. This is exactly, guys, how I did my first fix and flip. I just found somebody that has already done it successfully in my local market, and I learned from them hands-on. I went and put a property under contract. Then I went and found a guy that already flipped home and said, hey, I have a property under contract that I want you to pay me up front. I just want to do this with you, and then we do a profit split in the back end. And guess what? He was willing to do it because I brought something to the table. I didn't just come to him with absolutely no value, and I'm just asking and asking and asking. So guys, it's either or. So it's either you're gonna go through this whole process, which is absolutely worth it, because number one, like I said, you have very low competition here, because most people stay away from this. They start with wholesaling, then gradually they do fix and flips, and then maybe they think about, new development. But the reality is, especially right now in 2025, guys, trust me, you are not going to go wrong by getting into real estate new development. And don't let any guru tell you, or anybody actually, I don't care where they are, tell you that this is impossible to do, or it's too difficult, or it's not worth it, blah, blah. It is absolutely a lie. If you do it the right way, it's absolutely worth it. The profits are way more worth it than dealing with fix and flips. And I've done a bunch of fix and flips, right? 6 months, 9 months just to make 30 grand. Here, at least, you make it 100 grand or over. All right, guys? I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, guys. Obviously, if you're putting land under contract in Georgia or Dallas, Texas, reach out to us. We're buyers. Not only that, we'll mentor you through it. Or if you want to partner up with us, guys, guess what? Just reach out to me. You can reach out to me at Real Estate Diallo on my Instagram, my DM. Then I'll give you my personal number and we'll set up a Zoom and talk. Or if you want to join our private, obviously, community, then you can learn everything there. You can learn how to find land. You can learn how to negotiate with these owners. You can also learn fix and flips, right? We do a lot of different strategies. You can learn creative finance, how to buy or buy and holds, all of those things. Or you can learn real estate wholesaling. So if you want to join our private community as well, send me a message below or send me a message on Instagram, and I'll be sure to send you the link. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Boom, boom, boom.